We all know that plastic pollution is a massive problem for our planet, but have you heard about the dangers of microplastics? Microplastics are these tiny little pieces of plastic that are less than 5 millimeters in length, and they're found everywhere, from our oceans to the foods that we eat. When we use products like plastic bottles or bags, they break down into microplastics, which end up not only in our environment, but also in our bodies. Now, I went into a deep dive into microplastics when I had Theo, and I realized how many baby products are made of plastic. It's literally everywhere, even in places that you wouldn't think of, like the polyester fibers in almost every single stuffed animal you'll find. Now, babies put everything in their mouths, so just think about how much plastic they're consuming. When you then think about the fact that plastic didn't even become mainstream until the 60s, you realize that this is a fairly new phenomenon and so many of the health impacts are yet to be seen. Derek and I did a ton of research on this, so we've really gone to great lengths to reduce Theo's plastic intake. It's not always easy, but for us, it's worth it. And I wanted to share some tips that we've learned along the way, and hopefully it'll help some of you. 1, use glass or silicone bottles and dishes. Heating plastic is literally the worst thing that you can do. When you put plastic bottles in the microwave or dishwasher, they leak microplastic into your baby's food. So use glass or silicone instead. This was a lot harder when I was pumping because the bottles that you use are plastic, so I would pour the milk into a glass bottle when it was ready to serve. 2, get a cotton stuffed animal. Odds are you're gonna get 1 million stuffed animals and your baby is going to love to eat them all. When you look at the tag, you'll notice that most of them are polyester fibers, aka plastic. So we searched for a cotton stuffed animal from day one, and that's the only animal he's allowed to sleep with. Goose is his best friend. 3, beware of hidden plastic. We bought a food blender that said it was glass, but then inside the blender itself was plastic. I mean, it will blow your mind how much hidden plastic you'll find. Look at the materials lists for words that you don't recognize. Odds are they could be plastic. Anything starting with poly is plastic. And lastly, don't strive for perfection. You have enough stress as a new parent, so just don't drive yourself crazy. There will be cases that are unavoidable, but just remember that any way you can reduce their plastic intake, you're helping them in the long run. I've linked some of my favorite plastic-free products below, and I hope that you guys find this helpful.